Thoroughbred Week with John Henderson is presented by Adena Springs, Ashford Stud, Bloodstock Research, Brandywine Farm, Breeders' Cup, Claiborne Farm, Crestwood Farm, Gainesway, GLC 5500, Keeneland, Lanes Inn, Malone's, Margot Farm, OCD Pellets, Old Colony Insurance Services, Pin Oak Stud, Quillen Leather and Tack, Sally Horse Vans, Shadwell Farm, and Windstar Farm.
Hello everyone and welcome to Thoroughbred Week, featuring 2-year-old stakes action from Delta Downs, including the winner of the $1 million Delta Jackpot with Kentucky Derby connections. We begin with fillies and mares at Delta Downs in the Treasure Chest Stakes. The entry of Little Miss Protocol and Bella Medaglia favored at 2-1. Don Stevens has the call.
3/4 and 112 flat. Coming to the top of the lane soon, and Chattamaruchka's now challenged. Bella Medaglia moves up on the outside now, and Bella Medaglia takes the lead. A furlong to go. It's Bella Medaglia and John Jacinto now drawing clear by 2. Chattamaruchka could not keep up. Little Miss Protocol's into second. Then rallying on the far outside here is She's Prado's Idol, but coming down to the finish, Bella Medaglia is going to win her second straight Treasure Chest.
Bella Medaglia repeats as winner of the Treasure Chest by a length and 3/4 over her entry mate, Little Miss Protocol. John Jacinto aboard the 2-time Keeneland Sales graduate in 138-2. Both the winner and the runner-up are owned by Coteau Grove Farms, and both are trained by Patrick Devereaux Jr. Brett Calhoun trained Bella Medaglia when she won this race last year, but she was transferred to Devereaux for her current campaign. The 5-year-old mare by Medaglia Doro was bred in Kentucky by Chainbridge Stable. A $100,000 Keeneland September yearling, she was purchased by Coteau Grove Farms for $200,000 at the Keeneland April 2-year-old sale. Bella Medaglia has earned $355,000. Next, the Delta Mile. Pants on Fire, the 3-5 favorite. Again, here's Don Stevens.
Same battle on the front end. Decisive Moment, Hurricane Ike, and Pirate Island. They're still slugging it out. The half mile 47-12, getting a little bit closer now as Brethren as they approach that far turn, and now they're coming for home. Pirate Island, this 18-1 long shot, is hanging in there, but between horses, Decisive Moment is right there. They're coming for home now. It's Decisive Moment, Hurricane Ike, and also Pirate Island on the inside, and here comes Brethren, revving up on the outside, and Perspective is getting involved late. They're coming down to the finish now, and Perspective is rolling on the outside. He goes past Brethren. To the inside, it's Hurricane Ike, but Perspective is going to come from behind and win the Delta Mile.
Perspective rallies from next to last to defeat Brethren by a length and 1/4. Miguel Mena riding the winner for the first time, the mile in 138-2. The 5th stakes victory of the year for Perspective, who was making his first start against older horses. 18th in the Kentucky Derby, the Mark Casse trainee came back to take the Grade 3 Ohio Derby in July, but he had been off the board in his last 2 starts. The 3-year-old colt by Malibu Moon was bred in Kentucky by Spendthrift Farm and was a $250,000 Saratoga yearling. Perspective has earned $7,000 for John Oxley. Watch Thoroughbred Week replays online at tbredweek.com. Welcome back to Thoroughbred Week with 3-year-olds featured in this segment. Presented by Niagara Causeway, a graded stakes winning and track record setting son of Sire of Sires Giants Causeway, standing at Margot Farm. We begin with fillies at Laurel Park in the Safely Kept Stakes. Holiday Soiree, the 7-5 favorite. Dave Rodman picks up the call.
The Safely Kept field moves into the far turn, 3/8 to go. Los Ojitos trying to sneak through under the fence and has room. Los Ojitos getting through on the inside of Doe as they move to the top of the lane. Greed and Fear is in the clear, and Greed and Fear has to burst on the scene 4 deep. As Airstream is also between horses, now Airstream third into the stretch. Here's Greed and Fear on the outside with Los Ojitos down to the inside. Greed and Fear, Los Ojitos second, Airstream is third. Holiday Soiree to the center of the track is trying to kick in with a final furlong rally, but it's Greed and Fear. Caramanos looking for a riding triple. Greed and Fear will get there in time.
Greed and Fear holds off the late charge of Holiday Soiree by a length and 1/4. Horatio Caramanos aboard the 2-time OBS Sales graduate in 125 flat. Greed and Fear was claimed by her current connections for $50,000 out of a runner-up finish at Saratoga. She went on to break her maiden by 6 lengths at Belmont Park in her latest for trainer Rudy Rodriguez and in the colors of Michael Dubb. The filly by Bob and John was bred in Florida by Luis de Hecavarria and was a $17,000 OBS August yearling turned $140,000 OBS March 2-year-old. Greed and Fear has earned $130,000. To Woodbine for Canadian-bred 3-year-old fillies in the Jammed Lovely Stakes. Blue Heart, the 9-5 favorite. Dan Loisel has the call.
Miss Scarlet Road, this 18-1 shot, leads by a length and a half with 3/8 to go. Now, Evil Kitten's getting busy at the rail. Part the Seas comes on. Evil Kitten stalled there, needs running room. Just outside of horses is Casaloma. 3 of them across the racetrack at the quarter pole. Miss Scarlet Road, Casaloma, Part the Seas. Blue Heart's angled outside for the drive, and they're into the lane now. Down on the inside, Miss Scarlet Road, very game. Blue Heart set down by Luis Contreras, and Blue Heart's coming hard on the outside, and from off the pace, Acting Naughty stalled at the rail. Evil Kitten, Blue Heart, Part the Seas, Acting Naughty. Here is the wire. Blue Heart in a gripping photo finish to win the Jammed Lovely.
Favorite Blue Heart gets up to defeat Acting Naughty by a head, with Part the Seas ahead back in the show spot. The 5th winner on the card for Woodbine's leading rider, Luis Contreras. The Keeneland Sells graduate clocked in 123-4. The 3rd stakes victory over the Woodbine Polytrack for Blue Heart, who has run exclusively in stakes company after breaking her maiden over the track as a 2-year-old. The Brian Lynch trainee rebounding from an 8th place finish in the Ontario Colleen Stakes. The filly by exchange rate was bred in Ontario by Anderson Farms Incorporated and was a $375,000 Keeneland September yearling. Blue Heart has earned $482,000 for Emmerman Racing LLC. To Churchill Downs for 3-year-old turf fillies in the Grade 2 Mrs. Revere Stakes. Center Court, the 3-2 favorite. Mark Johnson has the call.
Now the clear leader is English Class and Leandro Gonsalves as they go to halfway in the 22nd running of the Mrs. Revere. It is English Class who's clear by 3. Centre Court the favourite in 2nd, Solid Appeal in 3rd, leading astray in 4th. Volcat out wide is racing in 5th, Colonial Flag is in 6th. Peace Preserver is in 7th, towards the inside Charge Cotton is in 8th. La Tigra is now in 9th, Somali Lemonade is in 10th. Then around the outside Regalo Mia, and Miss Ida is still last, but she's only 8 lengths off the leader, and the leader is English Class, but now about to feel the looming presence of Centre Court to the outside. Centre Court goes on at the head of the lane. Solid Appeal towards the inside. English Class, followed by Colonial Flag, who comes on, leading astray, and then Volcat flattening out. Miss Ida had to angle a run towards the outside with Somali Lemonade, but Centre Court is out in front. She's clear now by 2.5, leading astray, charging home on the inside with Colonial Flag, but racing to line. Centre Court now is a perfect 3 out of 3 on the Churchill Downs turf.
Over her favorite track, favored Center Court by Lanes and Stallion Smart Strike takes it by 2 lengths over leading astray by Lanes and Stallion Belong to Me. The winner under high weight of 120 pounds and Julianne Leperoux in 142-2. Center Court is 3 for 3 over the Churchill Downs turf course, including the Grade 3 Regret Stakes as a 2-year-old. The Rusty Arnold trainee was coming off a runner-up finish in the Grade 1 Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup. The winner was bred in Kentucky by her owner G. Watts Humphrey Jr. and the Louise Ireland Humphrey Revocable Trust. First or second in all 8 starts on turf, Center Court has earned $476,000. Julianne Leperoux with the Safe Ride of the Week, presented by Sally Horse Fans, the safest way to the winner's circle. A full field of 14 with posted at Churchill Downs and the Grade 3 Commonwealth Turf Stakes. Lee, the 5-2 favorite. Again, here's Mark Johnson.
They went through the half in 47-1 in the 9th running of the Commonwealth Turf, and it's Finale and John Velasquez to the inside. Lee on the outside now in 2nd. Escaper is in 3rd. Skyring is racing in 4th. Film Shot in 5th. Then on the inside, Casual Trick. Around the outside, Quick Wit tries to come on. Followed next by 2 Months Rent. Next in the field, around the outside is Lockout. Then looking for Racing Room, Burn the Mortgage, who had to go brutally wide. Lee with the big white blaze comes now to lay it down to Finale on the inside. outside, and Lee goes for home in the hands of Brian Hernandez. Just over a furlong to go in the Commonwealth turf, and it is Lee who is out in front. Lockout is giving chase now in second, but still 2 lengths to find. A 16th from the wire. Lee is out in front for Brian Hernandez. Down the outside, King David flashing home, but it was Lee who won the 9th running of the Commonwealth turf.
Favorite Lee by Claiborne Farm stallion First Samurai holds off the late charge of King David by 3/4 of a length. Brian Hernandez aboard in 142-1, a 102 brisk speed rating. Second in his debut under the Twin Spires in June, Lee was an easy maiden and allowance winner at Saratoga. But in his stakes debut, he finished third as the favorite in the Grade 3 Hawthorne Derby. The colt was bred in Kentucky by his owners, Claiborne Farm and Adele Del Schneider. Trained by Al Stahl Jr., Lee has earned $200,000. Churchill Downs Stakes action is presented by Brandywine Farm, a full-service thoroughbred operation now accepting boarders, offering quality care at affordable rates. Log on to brandywinefarmllc.com for additional information. To Aqueduct for the Grade 3 Discovery Handicap. Willie Beeman, the 3-5 favorite. Tom Durkin has the call.
So they make their way toward the backstretch run. Alan Garcia's got a pretty good hold of Willie Beeman here. They have the lead by a half a length. Opening quarter was very sensible, 24 3/5 seconds. Adirondack King a length behind. On the outside, our entourage is there. So up the backstretch run, Alan Garcia taps on the brakes here with Willie Beeman. The others drawing closer, and just as he does, he gives him a bit more rein to work with. Now he's clear by a bit more than a length. Our entourage, Adirondack King and Guilt Trip, second, third, and fourth. Oh, a half mile for 49 1/5 seconds here for Willie Beeman. Willie Beeman continues to set the tempo here, and the tempo is all its own. He's moving very easily out there by a half a length. Our entourage now has to pick it up second. Guilt Trip, all out drive, third on the outside. Adirondack King called to serve just 3 lengths from the front. And then Stefanozzi making their way toward the top of the stretch. Willie Beeman's 3/4 mark was 1:13-1, and they head for home. Our entourage, Guilt Trip is there. On the far outside, called to serve down toward the inside is Adirondack King. Willie Beeman's in deep water. Here's called to serve. Called to serve, charges past Willie Beeman. Called to serve in front. And Willie Beeman second, now Adirondack King third, and Stefanozzi fourth, and they're coming down to the finish. It will be called to serve. Under the line, 1/4.
Called to serve by Gainesway stallion of Fleet Alex, the winner officially by 4 3/4 over Willie Beeman for a 1-2 finish by Keeneland Sales graduates. Joel Rosario up in 1:49-3. After finishing in the money in his last 3 starts, Called to Serve gets his first stakes victory. Formerly trained by Peter Urton, Called to Serve was nosed out in the Temperance Hill Stakes in his first start for Nick Canani. The gelding was bred in Kentucky by Tracy Farmer. Called to Serve has earned $305,000 for Mark Farrell. The winner was consigned by 3 chimney sales to the 2010 Keeneland September yearling sale, where he was purchased by Mr. and Mrs. Mark Farrell for $290,000. Rated stakes winner Called to Serve, the Keeneland Sales Graduate of the Week. The Lanes and Stallion of the Week is Grade 1 winner Discreetly Mine, the fastest 3-year-old of his year. His first weanlings were purchased by such buyers as Hidden Brook and Indian Creek, and a mare in foal to Discreetly Mine was purchased by Sienna Farm for $230,000 at Keeneland. Welcome back to Thoroughbred Week with the Grade 3 Delta Downs Princess Stakes just ahead in this segment. 2-year-old stakes action is presented by Get Stormy, entering stud at Crestwood Farm. Winner of 7 graded stakes, including 3 Grade 1 events, all in wire-to-wire fashion. Get Stormy stands for $5,000. Live Full stands in nurses. We begin with Canadian-bred 2-year-old fillies in the South Ocean Stakes. Undefeated Nipissing, the 1-10 favorite. Dan Loisel has the call.
Seeking to sow into the far turn. A Tanabe between horses. Out there 3 wide is a Nipissing. Dancing Bay's trying to close up at the rail, getting some left-handed reminders. Fire with Desires on the outside. As they run through the turn, they ran 3/4 and 14, and Nipissing gets a little nudge from Bain, and the Princess Elizabeth winner is up to take the lead at the head of the lane. And it's Nipissing into the stretch, leading it by 2.5, 3 now. Dancing Bays to the outside, and to the inside is Otanabe with 1 furlong to go, and it's all Nipissing, undefeated, and she could be any kind. Nipissing in the South Ocean.
Odds-on favorite Nipissing rolls to a 4-length victory over Watanabe. Stephen Baham, the winning jockey, in 1:45 3. The top two are both owned by Chiefswood Stables Limited, although Rachel Howden trains the winner and Paul Attard conditions the runner-up. Nipissing is undefeated in 4 starts over the Woodbine Poly track. After winning her first 2 starts at 7 furlongs, she stretched out to a mile and a 16th to take the Princess Elizabeth Stakes. The filly by Queen's Plate winner Nigon was bred in Ontario by Chiefswood Stable. Named for a town in central Ontario, Nipissing has earned $298,000. Nipissing paid $230 to win and is the Malone's favorite of the week, presented by Malone's, Lexington's favorite steakhouse. To Delta Downs for the Grade 3 Princess Stakes. Madame Cactus, the 7-5 favorite. Don Stevens has the call.
And they're off in the Delta Downs Princess. Coming away fast in the middle was Salamera, who's flashing speed. Next to that one is Cloudy in San Diego. There goes Cayano. And now Cayano's going to set the pace as they leave the chute. On the inside, Rose to Gold saves the rail post position and is very close, vying for that second position. On the outside, Unhedged moves up now to take over second. Rose to Gold is back to third. Then comes Salamera in fourth behind Traffic. Back there next to her is Touch Magic. A shuffle back a bit was Floral Sky. She got in a tight spot. To the outside, it's Cloudy in San Diego, and then comes sitting at the bar. The quarter mile went in 23 and 49 100ths as they round the first turn and go to the backstretch. At the back of the pack behind Rivals is Madame Cactus. They're going on to the backstretch now. The quarter went in 23:49. Up front with a half mile to race now. You'll find on the inside Unhedged, who's still battling for the lead, but here's Salamera now to take command, and Salamera sticks ahead in front. Unhedged is to the inside. Rose to Gold is 3 deep, and 4 deep out there is sitting at the bar, who joins the front runners, well bunched up. Big late run here coming from Touch Magic, who's rallying up 5 wide. Behind Rivals, you'll find Madame Cactus, who's advancing. Then comes Cayano, and at the back of the pack is Floral Sky and Cloudy in San Diego, who's dropping out. The half mile went in 48:49, 3/4 1:13.85. They're coming for home now, and Unhedged is given way. Rose to Gold now sticks ahead in front. Touch Magic's running a big race. Sitting at the bar swings wide at the top of the lane. They've straightened away in the stretch. Rose to Gold gutting it out on the inside. Touch Magic is right there. Then comes sitting at the bar. It's a dart to the finish. Rose to Gold has the lead, and Rose to Gold wins the Delta Downs Princess.
Rose to Gold runs by Touch Magic to score by half a length. Paco Lopez aboard in 1:39 1. Rose to Gold began her career with a pair of stakes wins on dirt at Calder by a combined margin of 26.5 lengths. But she finished 12th, beaten nearly 30 lengths in the Grade 1 Darley Alcibiades Stakes on Polytrack. The filly by Friends Lake was bred in Kentucky by Joe Mulholland Sr. and Jr., along with John and Karen Mulholland, and was a bargain $1,400 yearling. Trained by Sal Santoro, Rose to Gold has earned nearly $373,000 for Kathleen Amaya and Rafael Centofanti. Coming up, the $1 million Delta Jackpot. Time now for the featured race of the week presented by Keeneland, investing in racing's future since 1936. It's the $1 million Delta Downs Jackpot. Burn Identity, the 9-5 favorite. Don Stevens has the call.
And they're off in the $1 million Delta Downs Jackpot, and everybody got away well. Hightail is flashing speed in the middle, up on the outside. Now here comes Golden Sense. Golden Sense gains his stride now and goes near the lead. Here's Heaven's Runway to apply pressure. These two now side by side as they exit the chute and step onto the main track. Golden Sense just a little bit quicker now, and Krieger gets him over toward the inside, but Heaven's Runway's not going to give up the rail. Right there racing in second, 2 lengths clear of Hightail. Then comes Central Banker. Show Some Magic's on the outside in 5th. Then comes Burn Identity behind Rivals. They're followed by It's My Lucky Day and No More. And it's a ways back then to the trailer, who is My Loot under Gerard Malone's song, but we've only got about 8 or 10 lengths front to back. Going to the backstretch now. The quarter mile went in a rapid 22 and 64 100 seconds. Golden Sense had to work hard. They're on to the backstretch now. A half mile to race. And the big one here at Delta Downs, and Golden Sense leads it by a length and a half, trying to stride out. The half in 46-22. Heaven's Runway is racing in second. High Tail to the outside is in third. Dropping out now is Show Some Magic as Central Banker goes by on the inside. No More is advancing between horses. Here comes My Loot on the far outside, rolling under Gerard Melanson. Burn Identity is all bottled up and has nowhere to go. 3/4 in 1:11.18. They're turning for home. Golden Sense is the target, but here comes My Loot rumbling up within 2 lengths. It's 2.5 lengths back to a tiring High Tail. Then comes Heaven's Runway. Burn Identity's getting in gear, but it may be too late in this short stretch. Golden Sense under a drive. My Loot trying to reel him in. Burn Identity is rallying with every stride, but Golden Sense, a true champion, taking the Grade 3 $1 million Delta Downs jackpot.
5-2 second choice Golden Sense holds off favorite Burn Identity by a length and 3/4. Kevin Krieger aboard the OBS Sales Graduate in 1:44 and 4. A first out maiden winner by 7 1/4 lengths at Del Mar. Golden Sense was coming off a runner-up finish to Breeders' Cup Juvenile winner Champagne Bobby in the Grade 1 Champagne Stakes. The jackpot winner, one of several top Kentucky Derby prospects for Doug O'Neill, trainer of 2012 Derby winner I'll Have Another. The colt by Into Mischief was bred in Kentucky by Rosecrest Farm and Karen Perello and originally sold for $5,500 as a yearling. A $62,000 OBS June 2-year-old, Golden Sense has earned $722,000 for WC Racing, Dave Kinney, and RAP Racing. We'll have the Grade 1 Clark Handicap and the Grade 1 Cigar Mile next week here on Thoroughbred Week.
Thoroughbred Week with John Henderson has been presented by Adena Springs, Ashford Stud, Bloodstock Research, Brandywine Farm, Breeders' Cup, Claiborne Farm, Crestwood Farm, Gainesway, GLC 5500, Keeneland, Lanes Inn, Malone's, Margot Farm, OCD Pellets, Old Colony Insurance Services, Pin Oak Stud, Quillen Leather and Tack, Sally Horse Fans, Shadwell Farm, and Windstar Farm. Online at tbredweek.com.